Go on.
You had something?
Yes. Okay, so I think what we're talking about is, on both sides to even it, is that we're talking about the past, right?
Yes.
And that we don't know what happened in someone's past unless we choose to have a conversation with them. If we're judging them from their past right off, that's going to be your win or loss, and that's for you to decide if you want to have that conversation or not. People experience life and all parts of life and growing up in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly have trauma in different ways, and things happen. So it goes all from finding out those things. You know, if you don't know if that person grew up in a way that was normalized or whatever, and they were promiscuous when they were younger, but now they're realizing, oh, that we are more sacred, that I don't want to be giving my body out like that. Like, the best relationships are being able to see that person changed, and being that it's not, oh, you slept with all them first, why aren't you sleeping with me first? It's saying, okay, I can see you're at maybe a little bit more immature state of your time, of your life.
So you're saying that
Mm-hmm.
everybody grows up differently. We all have our past traumas, and sometimes, you know, you were promiscuous in the past, but now you've changed your ways, and somebody should accept you for that.
I don't like to use the word should. It's one of my things. I'm trying to eliminate that shit word, but
Why not?
should?
Yeah, it's quite a common word in the vernacular.
It is a very common word. There's a lot of common words that we could delete from our language, but should is a shit word. It just makes us judge each other, put ourselves against, like, compare ourselves to each other, and then it makes us give ourselves standards that we're not really doing. We're saying that, oh, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. It's saying, like, you're putting yourself at failure, so you're going to make yourself down.
I have a question on the should thing.
Yeah.
If you have a child, should you feed the child?
I mean, it is best looked upon to feed the child.
Do you
Who's to say what one should or shouldn't do?
Hold on.
A child needs to eat.
So do you object to the following sentence?
Okay.
People should feed their children.
I say parents need to feed their children.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But did you object to what he said and the way that he phrased it?
Do you also object to the word
No.
need? Because need seems much more powerful
I wasn't finishing my
What
thing about
ought?
it. So with should,
How do you feel about
anytime that
ought?
you use should, you can mostly replace it with would or could. And would is the actual that you're willing to do it, or that you possibly could do it.
So what's your beef
So
with should,
in
though?
the-
I don't
in
know.
the
What's
feeding
wrong with
the
should? Should's a good. What
Because
about ought?
now you're just using synonyms.
Do you like
for should.
ought? Ought is a good word.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know ought? Someone ought to do something.
Ought refers to it being a natural.
Should
a
I
natural
Google it?
thing,
Let me
like a
just Google the
natural law.
definition of
You
ought.
Use that in sort of
Yeah.
more religious talk.
Ought.
So this came to me though with when I had a boyfriend, right, that he was not getting his license. He had his license removed, and then he could get it back, and I was just like, he should get his license, he should get his license. And then someone asked me, who's to say what one should or shouldn't do? It's the whole butterfly effect. You don't know what's going to happen. If I pushed him and said, you should get your license, you should get your license, he gets his license and gets in a car accident. Who's to say that he was supposed to get his license at that time? Okay, it's all in people's own time to say.
I feel like you read this on a tarot card somewhere, and now you don't really know why you said it.
I actually have a whole curriculum for childcare based off of this. If
Really?
you'd
You
like to know
teach
more
kids
about
that they shouldn't say should? Do you teach kids that they shouldn't say the word should?
I encourage education around the word.
I feel like when you say that people shouldn't say the word should, you're saying that there are no sort of
I didn't say we shouldn't.
there are no objective standards, so so people should do whatever they want to do all the time.
You can do whatever you want to do.
But is that your beef with should? Because you're telling people that we shouldn't say that people should do anything?
I'm not saying you shouldn't.
So, you know what I'm saying though. So is ultimately why you don't like the word should is because you don't believe that there should be objective standards. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure.
Because if I say that someone should feed their children, I think I could also say that someone ought to feed their children because it's like and that makes sense to make it an ought claim. But if I say somebody should feed their children, I'm saying that there's an objective standard.
Right, okay, so
hold on a second. I'm saying that there's an objective standard that we all have to abide by, that people should feed their children.
Should is a judgment that's automatically making it that they will feed their children, they can feed their children. It doesn't matter. My judgment has no opinion.
Do you object to judgments?
I limit judgment.
I think it's a powerful word, I would say.
Should. Yeah. Well, I mean, Yeah, I just feel like that you're saying that because you don't believe that there is anything objective. Because then how can you eliminate the word should if you think that there are objectives?
Because in most times that you use the word should, from now forward in your future from here, try it. When you're about to say should, try to replace it with would or could.
No, because I actually have
and that will give you more integrity to your life. It won't make you be like, oh, I'm going to half-ass this, or I'm going to, I should do that.
I think this is like
no,
fruitless
no, but I think that
it did definitely go left field from what
it just depends on your worldview. That's why I find it interesting, though, because in my worldview, I have things that
I'd love to talk to you about this more on some other time.
I use should a lot as a positive, encouraging thing. Like, oh, you should do this to like inspire somebody. Like,
but then that makes them feel like they're like, oh, I have to do this. It puts so much pressure and comparison on each other.
Iron sharpens iron. Pressure is a great thing. Well, I do want to come back to the kind of